Hi folks, in today's video I want to talk about how your clothing is considered a part of your overall sleep system, and the way that I'm working my system today based on rainy conditions hovering around 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and hanging out in my hammock with no activity to keep me warm, trying not to eat all my food and still stay warm and comfortable for the whole day, because it's going to rain all day.
This is Survive Moto, bringing you content from the homeless leftist survivalist perspective. Subscribe to learn with me and grow an empowered community capable of saving ourselves and protecting life through disaster, turmoil, and collapse.
So I thought I'd shoot this little video, and I'm going to go over my clothes, I'm going to go over my hammock, and I'm going to go over my bedding in the hammock so that I can illustrate how the clothes fit into the whole thing. Of course, there are different iterations of this. I don't use this system every day or for every environment, but today I feel pretty good. This is our first major rainy day down here in Arizona, and it's kind of chilly. There's a little bit of wind chill, and I'm just real happy that what I'm wearing, what I've got on is cutting it, and I don't have to make any adjustments really, so it's pretty nice. Okay, so the first way that your clothes are integrated into your sleep system is simply by providing an additional layer. So no matter what material your clothing is made of, you have added so many layers to your sleep system. And layers are important because of the concept of trapped air. You want the air to be able to breathe through those surfaces while still being mostly trapped. And your heat is trying to radiate out from your body, especially with wind chill and such, where it's actually sucking air from your body. And the same goes for all the different ways, the different methods of losing or gaining temperature. I'm not going to list them in this video because I don't know them offhand actually, but there are several of them. And just for an example, like conduction and convection, these are ways that we can lose heat, and these are ways that we can methodize to create heat containment for ourselves. So adding layers. My first layer, my base layer, is actually just a long sleeve cotton shirt. You would think that I would want to have all wool, everything right now, and that might be another way to go about achieving the comfort level that I have today, but I am comfortable right now. So I have a cotton long sleeve shirt on. Over that I have a fleece polyester long sleeve shirt, and for my extremities I have wool. This glove is a heavier glove because it's layered. It's a 50% wool, 50% what is it, spandex I think, and it's got 3 layers. The inner insulative layer is polyester. This is a mitten, so this is what I wear when it's going to be cold, and whether I'm sitting or I'm up working, this is what I'm going to wear. On my other hand, I have another set of wool gloves that I can transition to in order to lose heat rapidly if I need to, or just as a modulator. You know, the temp is going to go up and down throughout the day. Today it's going up, gradually, and so gradually I'm going to shift to less layers, or less heavy layers. Like this single layer wool glove is 100% wool, so it's still going to keep me warm, but there's no mitt for my fingers, and so you see the difference. On my head I have a 50% wool, 50% acrylic beanie, and I'll shift to just the beanie later in the day, and I'll lose this undergarment. This is a full balaclava, goes over my entire head, covers most of my face, and it's fairly breathable. This is 100% polyester. It's thick. It's got at least 2 layers. I almost feel like I can feel a 3rd layer moving around in there. If so, it's really thin. But this is probably just it's probably 2 layers because it's quite breathable. And you know, it covers my full neck. It even extends out about 1 inch onto the shoulder area. And you know, I can either close that in tight with the top button here, or I can open it up nice like this to get some ventilation, or I can fix it over top of the shirt, and that way I'm still ventilating up through the mask from my torso. Whereas if I cinch this down tight, it's a tighter connection, right? Because the button is capturing more material. That's less breathable. These minute factors can really make a world of difference to your comfort, to get you optimally comfortable for conditions like today where you're just laying around. You don't want to be comfortable the entire time. You want to be optimally comfortable the entire time. Now I'm wearing just a basic pair of jeans, and there's no wool on me except for my head, my hands, and my feet. So all my extremities are covered by wool clothing. And wool is breathable. It also functions fairly well when it's wet, especially 100% wool. So this glove is going to have its insulative properties while it's wet. I mean, you can get this wet up to 80% wet, I believe, before it starts losing insulative value. So when you're working with things, or maybe you get a little rain up on you, you go out and come back, you got some rain on your hat. You know, you don't want your feet getting wet ever, really, but if they had to, you know, then you might be all right. I have 2 pairs of wool socks on I'm going to show you. And then I'm going to show you the bedding that I use and explain the hammock. So, I believe these are JB Fields, you know, 20 below, whatever, wool socks that go all the way up to my knee, below my knee. So they're the roll downs. And then here I have also JB Fields, I believe, Arctic socks. So these are rated for a higher temperature, but they're just different. I mean, they just work in different ways for different footwear, you know, depending on what I'm wearing on my feet. But in general, they're pretty interchangeable, actually. As far as their ability to retain heat, yeah, it's pretty good. The coldest part of my body right now is probably my knees, because they're the furthest away from the heat source, because I'm sitting in almost like a cross-legged position in my double wide hammock. So I do have a blanket over me. Well, it's actually a top quilt, and the difference being that a top quilt is designed for hammocks. So this top quilt is made by Hammock Gear, okay, and it's rated for 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So I mean, I'm good to go. It's 50 today with the wind chill and everything. You just want something on top of you that, you know, it's not a sleeping bag, it's not trapping me. I can open up the sides, I can open up my knees or cover my knees, and I got it down to my waist right now. And you know, it's breathable, but it has like down material in it. But the main reason it's breathable, I would say, is that the bottom is open, and there's clasps for me to close it up if I want to, but there's no zipper or anything heavy duty down there. It's just open around me. And the way that a hammock utilizes the top quilt, it needs an under quilt below you, so that you can have that freedom of that top quilt that spreads wide, and you can use it as like a blanket. I should mention too that the top quilt has a foot box in it, and they make them different ways, but mine has a zipper, and I can unzip it. I can unzip it almost all the way and still have a nice little contained area for my feet to go, but get a lot more leg room. The under quilt is a similar downy material inside of, I don't know what material this is here, but it's synthetic. And it has snaps on it. I mean, hammock, this is a one wind camping hammock system, so one wind does make some good stuff. I was a little disappointed to find that I can't get a repair kit for the hammock online, but I've had this hammock for like a year, and it's seen some heavy use, and it just has one little tear in it that that seems to not be progressing, because the material here is a heavy-duty hexagonal ripstop fabric, and I forget the other specifications. I think it's 2.1 mil or something. It's nice, but it's what is it, vinyl? I think it's vinyl, and then outside of these two layers, the hammock and the underquilt, on the outside is just a rain cover, a rain and wind cover. So this stops a bit of wind, and it protects everything from getting wet, because there is down material in here. You don't want that getting wet, versus the wool that you can get wet. So, and in addition to everything that I have going on here, I also have a secondary source of body heat. Hey Buppers, what, are you tired? Oh no, you're just lazy. You're just lazing. You're a lazy raisin. He's just lazing. You're gonna hear a lot of people referencing wool because it is a great modulator. It just is an overall amazing type of fabric. I am considering trying to come up with a wool hammock from a square wool blanket, and I've seen how it can be done. Dave Canterbury has a good video on strapping one up to trees and creating a hammock. I do want to look into the factor of temperature. Overall, I don't know that a one piece of wool is gonna, I don't know how low in the temperatures that's gonna get me. So I'm looking into things still, but I'm assuming I'm gonna need like a strong fiber, a strong 100% wool, virgin wool, and that would probably be pretty good in the long term as a hammock that is less pervious to getting destroyed by the environment, because I am in the desert where the sun and the thorns are out to get you. That's how it feels. Anyway, so like I say in my title theme, I'm homeless, so a lot of my ideas and my gear and such are really put to the test because I'm in and out of the urban environment. I have different places I go and stay. I'm itinerant, so it forces me to come up with actually feasible systems. And so hope you like the video. Take care, y'all.